What is up, YouTube, and welcome to the series How to Get Better at Photography. In this video, we're going to help you improve your photography by fixing one thing that you may be doing wrong, and that is having your photos not level. In this video, we're going to show you not only how to notice if you're doing it, but more importantly, how to fix it. So let's go. So let's start off by looking at some applications where this concept is really important. Number one, real estate. If you're shooting real estate, you definitely want to have your leveling on point so that way your buildings are vertically and horizontally perfect. Another type of photography that this concept is super obvious in is in landscapes. If you're looking at a big, beautiful horizon, but the horizon line is tilted, it just doesn't look right. And as a matter of fact, this concept pretty much goes for all photography. If you have a photo that, unless it's on purpose, isn't level, it's going to be very noticeable to the viewer and also be a little bit distracting. So let's talk about how we can get those photos nice and level and get your picture straight and looking good. So here's a few tools that you can use that are going to instantly help improve your leveling on your horizontal and vertical planes. Number one is turn on your grid view in your camera. This grid view is automatically going to give lines that are vertical and horizontal on your screen that you can use to align images on your camera. That'll really help to show you if you're tilted in any sort of direction. The next thing that you can look for is a tripod that actually has a bubble level on it. Using a bubble level on your tripod will help you know that your camera is actually set up level. Even if it doesn't quite appear right in the viewfinder, you know exactly that your camera is level according to the physics of Earth. So let's talk about when shooting indoors. The easiest thing you could do to help level out your photos when you're shooting indoors is lower your camera down on the tripod. The biggest mistake that I see people make is they have their camera up high on the tripod and it looks like you're looking down at all the furniture and everything indoors. I would lower it to about countertop height or a little bit higher than that. That's pretty much going to be the center of the room. And then using those grid lines you have on your camera, make sure that your lines are aligned vertically perfectly with the walls and horizontally perfect with the floor. That'll help show you that you have a really straight image when you're shooting indoors. When you're shooting outdoors, the easiest thing you can do is look at the horizon line. If you're able to see the horizon, you're shooting in a bigger open space, just make sure that horizon line is perfectly level, and that's going to be natural to what our eyes see when we're looking at things. If you can't see the horizon line or you're in a little bit more dense environment, then try to use something that you know is vertical, such as a building or a tree or a light post, or something that you can easily use as a visual reference. Line that up on your grid with that line that you know is vertically true, and that should align the rest of your picture up as well. Now that we feel like we're shooting a lot straighter on our camera, let's look at the tools that we can use in the editing process to help straighten out our photos there. So, say you take a photo and you think it's really straight, but you get home and you notice it's a little bit crooked. There's a few things you can do to fix this. Obviously, most tools like Lightroom, Photoshop, those programs have an auto leveling tool. You could just press the auto level and see if it straightens it out, and that might do the trick. A lot of times the algorithm doesn't get it quite right though, and it can tweak it and make it look a little bit funky. So the first thing that I always do is make sure you level it by cropping. So I'll select the cropping tool, I'll make sure to delete the pixels so that way you don't get any white edges, and then I'll just turn the photo whatever direction I need to where it looks perfectly straight. If you really want to get into some advanced editing, you can use the skew tool, which you can drag some of the corners in different directions, and that'll help straighten out your image. But I really wouldn't mess with this unless you know what you're doing, because you can start to make the photo look really funky and mess it up, and you'll start editing the pixels and making them bend and do weird things. So remember, a straighter photo always looks more aesthetically pleasing. Unless you're going for a purposely angled photo to get a unique look, try to keep your camera as straight as possible and get those lines nice and straight in your images. And by the way, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. We're going to be releasing a ton of photography tips that'll help you become a master photographer and make all your photos look amazing. Also, don't forget to like the video. If you got something out of it, a like really goes a long way in supporting the channel. Thanks again for watching. This is Lucas with Melon Photography, and we'll see you next time.